What's going on out there, American truckers? How are y'all doing today? I hope all of y'all are staying safe, staying warm, staying out of trouble. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Do a little bit of everything on this channel. Interviews to talking about different things that affect us as truck drivers, and talking to other drivers, reviewing other YouTube channels that drivers have, trying to help some of them out, getting some momentum. But anyway, today I'm going to talk about the Brotherhood of Trucking. Seems there's a lot of confusion as to what it is and what it isn't, and does it exist and does it not exist, things like that. And I'm going to get all into that in this video right here. First, I'm going to get me some nicotine. Anyway, by the way, if you don't smoke, don't start. It's a bad habit. I'm going to close this up so take the glare off of there. What is the Brotherhood of Trucking, and what is it not? Does it mean that we all get along, we all like each other? No, it doesn't. You can have brothers, actual blood brothers, that don't like each other. It's a mutual respect for what each other does and what each other goes through. I have recently heard some drivers say they don't believe there is a brotherhood at all or anything like that. It's not what it used to be, but I believe there's still something there. I know I feel that way, and I'm sure there's others that do too. As a matter of fact, I know there is. One of the guys that believes that the brotherhood is no longer there, not that long ago, when he was going to commit suicide in his truck on YouTube, another trucker reached out to him and talked him down out of it. That's a brotherhood. That's what it is. No one understands what a trucker goes through but a trucker. Okay? So if I'm having a bad day, it's not like a bad day in a normal job. In a normal job, there's people around me, there's things going on that distract me from whatever it is I'm having a bad day from. If I'm having a bad day as a driver, I'm driving down the road 10 or 11 hours. Whatever it is in the front of my mind, and it's not going to leave there until I deal with it. That's why as drivers, we take little bitty things and make them real big problems. Okay? No one understands that but another driver. Okay? So that's what the brotherhood is. It's a mutual respect. We understand what other drivers are going through. Does it mean that we pull over for every truck we see on the side of the road? No. I holler at them on the radio and see if they're okay. But we live in the days of cell phones, you know. Back in the old days we used to, but we didn't have cell phones back then. So a driver might actually be stuck somewhere, you know, and not have anything to drink, not have anything to eat, anything like that. You know, so we used to check on them. Does it mean that I like that guy? No. Yeah, I could do that for somebody I don't like. That's human compassion for one another, realizing that I'm not the only person in this world. You know what I'm saying? That's compassion for a fellow driver. Does the trucking brotherhood mean that you sacrifice your money? Well, no. I mean, you're not going to risk your money. We never did. We always made our money out here. But at the same time, you know, if a driver needed something, we would take the time to get him what he needed. I've brought drivers parts before. I've picked drivers up and gotten them to the truck stop when their truck was broke down out there because they needed something at the truck stop. Done all kinds of little things like that. And yeah, it might cost me a couple dollars, but I'm not sacrificing my whole check for it. You know, the other thing is as a trucker, our job is not just a job. It's not just a career. It's a lifestyle. If you're an OTR driver, it is a lifestyle. And even if you're a local driver, it's a lifestyle. owner, operator, company driver, doesn't matter. It is a lifestyle. Okay? And when you train, and this is for those trainers out there, you're not just teaching somebody how to drive. They should already have that down a little bit. But you're teaching them the lifestyle. Okay? We are one of few jobs in the world that is a lifestyle. Longshoreman, that's a lifestyle. All right? I get on YouTube, and the same reason I kind of went after Truckers Coach a little bit. He was putting his pocket before drivers. Or it seemed like, and I may be wrong, it just seemed like it. And that's what bothered me, because that hurts the brotherhood. That hurts the trucking brotherhood. All right. Again, does that mean that I like all truckers? No. There's some drivers I don't like. Some drivers I like. Some drivers I'm closer to than other drivers. But I respect every driver for the lifestyle and job that they have, because I understand it, and I'm working the same lifestyle and the same job out here on the road. It's hard, and I've said this before. These trucking companies, they don't really care about us. Okay? They'll replace us just as soon as we quit or die or whatever. DOT, if they can find a way to write us a ticket, they're going to take it. Bet your money on that. All right? Most of the time, they're going to take it. They don't care about us either. We're thousands of miles away from our families, our kids, our loved ones. All right? The only people we got around us out here is each other. If we don't have each other, then we have nothing. Recently, a driver told me, he said, well, what about all the negativity in trucking? Well, that's not just in trucking. That's in society in general. I personally believe we live in a dying society, almost like the Dark Ages. Almost, it's heading that way. And that's why when you turn on the CB, you hear so much nonsense. That's why if you walk through a driver's lounge, you'll hear so much nonsense. But it's not just in trucking. They're facing those same challenges in construction, in restaurants, all over, all walks of life. It's society as a whole. It's not just trucking. There's a very negative outlook out there, but there is a way you can train yourself to look for positive things. One of those things is called a gratitude journal. You can actually teach yourself, you train your mind to look at positive more than negative. There's been a lot of people that spoke out about gratitude journals. They work wonders. If you don't know what one is, hit me up and I'll explain it to you. But it'll change your whole outlook on life. And after a while, you won't even notice the negative stuff that's around you. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. There's a lot of negative out there, but I don't see most of it. I try to ignore a lot of it. Sometimes I'll get caught up in it and my mind will flow into it. And when it does, I'll realize, oh crap, I stopped writing in my gratitude journal. And I got to bring myself back and get myself back in check. It's constant. It's a constant job. But if you do it, it works, and it works well. Anyway, my ADD got me. Let's get back to this trucking brotherhood. Back in the day when we had it real strong out here, did it mean we all hung out in the restaurant together? No. Some guys did and some guys didn't. Did it mean that we all hung out on Party Row and barbecued and drank beer? No. Some guys did, some guys didn't. Here's what it did mean. We were a tight-knit group. And if anybody from outside of trucking attacked a trucker in any way, verbal, physical, it didn't matter. Every driver in there stood up and took defense of that driver, no matter what. That was real strong out here. We were almost like a fraternity out here. And we stood up for each other. At the same time, though, that doesn't mean we didn't talk shit to each other either, because we did. And if a driver was out of line, we would say something. Kind of like kind of like YouTube does. You got some YouTubers that kind of keep other YouTubers in line whenever they get out of line and they're hurting someone else or whatever. And that's kind of a good thing. It's kind of what the Brotherhood used to be like out here in the world, you know. Now, I take it personal when someone says there is no Brotherhood at all, for a couple of reasons. One, I have an organization I started in 2018, American Truckers United. There's about 1,200 of us, which ain't very many, but that's about 1,200 of us that'll tell you right quick like that there is a Brotherhood, because to us there is. And if you don't see the Brotherhood, well then you're just because you're not a part of it. That's the way we feel. The other reason I take it personal is because I don't believe in this everything's about me philosophy that seems to have plagued our modern day society. This job is more than just me. I'm working on something that's bigger than me. Trucker unity to me is bigger than me. All those drivers up there in Canada that protested over the mandates, that was bigger than them. It was not no one individual. It was a whole collaboration of a bunch of them. You know, so, and if you have that me attitude, you're kind of working against the lifestyle out here, and it does hurt other drivers. Because the same drivers that have that me attitude are the same ones that are going to hold you up in a fuel island, because they don't have any compassion for another driver. I don't hold another driver up in the fuel island because I am one, and I know what he's going through or she's going through, and I don't want them to sit back there and wait on me. It's not their job to wait on me. The fuel island, or even pulling forward to the yellow line, is not the place for me to take my 30-minute break. Never has been. You know, I get my fuel, I pull forward, I run inside, I use the restroom, grab anything if I need it, get back in my truck, go park, pull off on an off-ramp, pull off out of the way, park on the edge, whatever. All right? Because I don't want to hold another driver up. So when someone says there is no Brotherhood in trucking, that guy, I guarantee you, is the same guy that'll hold you up in a fuel island. That's the same guy that will park at night and block you in. And then you're going to spend 30 minutes in the morning banging on the side of his truck to wake him up. And then he's going to have an attitude with you because you woke him up. You know, we have so much of that out here. And that's, and it's destroying, not just trucking, it's destroying our society as a whole. Because there is no compassion for the next person. Everybody's just worried about themselves. And is the Brotherhood out? Is it as strong in trucking as it once was? No, it's not. We got a lot of guys out here that are just all about themselves. And pushing that narrative, it's all about them. Well, if something ever happens to you, you know, and you need the help of another driver, I hope the other driver doesn't feel the same way, or you might be screwed. You know, I mean, I did an interview with a lady, and you can go look at it on my lives. There's an interview where I interviewed a lady trucker, and me and her talked about that for a while. And she's been out here longer than me. She's been out here since 1990. And she talks about that, talks about the unity among drivers, and that it has changed over the years. We know it's in trouble, you know, but it is something that I won't give up on. You know, as long as I'm living, I'm going to work for it. And it's something I'll try to bring back together as much as I can, along with a lot of other drivers who feel the same way. And just so you know, even if you are one of those drivers that is all about you and screw everybody else, if you ever need somebody and one of us is around, I bet we stop and help you out. You know, if you're ever on YouTube wanting to commit suicide because you feel your life's falling apart, I bet one of us that still believe in the Brotherhood reach out to you and try to help you, try to talk you out of it. You know, so anyway, a lot of rambling, but I hope that explains what the Brotherhood is a little bit. Does it mean we don't talk shit? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Does it mean that we won't talk shit to each other? No, doesn't mean that at all. What it means is when it's needed and the time is there, we will come together. Also, what it means is when we park or work throughout the day, that we take other people into consideration. If I'm moving 1 mile an hour faster than a truck in front of me, I don't get in the left lane and block up traffic for the next 5 miles trying to pass them. Because I may be hurting a driver that's running late or a driver that's running low on his clock. Okay? When I park in the evenings, I look around. If I didn't get into a spot and I park late and I got to make a spot somewhere, I look around to make sure I'm not going to be blocking someone else. Because obviously they were parked before me. They're probably going to leave before me. You know, if I'm getting fuel in the fuel island, I try not to block somebody up in the fuel island. If I'm turning in somewhere and a driver's coming out, I set back a few feet, give him plenty of room to get on out of there so he's not squished. Because this lifestyle, it's not all about me. I'm doing this job along with a lot of other brothers and sisters. And that's what the Brotherhood is. Y'all stay safe, be kind to one another, and keep trucking.